Honestly, I started this video once and I was really high on energy when I started that video. But then something happened. And now I'm not mad, I'm not sad, I'm just slightly irritated. I feel interrupted. I was interrupted. In the video, there was an interruption. And it's interesting that that happened like that. After I talked about, I don't edit these videos. Or I'm not planning to edit these videos because I like the rawness of the videos. I like that I'm able to capture nature, the nature around me, which is really usually just the trees. And who's to say I won't get more creative with that? Creative about my choices as far as where I choose to make these videos. Who's to say I won't get creative with that? But I like to capture nature while I'm naturally expressing myself. I like to be able to do that. So, but also this is like a diary-ish page. It's a page like any other YouTube page. You have a start and you transform. It just transforms into something. Which is why my name is that, because metamorphosis, transformation, that kind of thing. I thought that was really... Well, it's actually really personal as to why I chose that name. All I'm going to say is caterpillar. Which is like, duh, but there's a personal story to that choosing. But that's not what this is about. I don't want to edit these, and I'm not going to edit these because I think I need more rawness like this in my life. And when I'm looking back on these and I'm like, okay, so that was her, that was them, this is what they did. I like the idea of me just seeing the rawness of that. Uncut. That's the word for it, uncut. But what did I say? I started this video already. I already started this video. I was about to really get into the topic of this. That I don't even think I really have topics. Well, I do have topics. I have a lot of prompts. I have a lot of prompts to choose from, actually. I just feel that I need to be in the state of mind, a certain state of mind, or it has to come up and kick in, and then I have to flow for a little bit for me to feel like I can flow in a video. But it doesn't have to be like that either. But that's just something that I've realized about my process of doing things, my process to end up doing things. But what did I say? I started this video already. And right now I'm actually cooling. Even though I said or you probably sensed my irritation at the beginning of this video. And it's funny how time does that. Or how time passes and you're just like, you're cool once you feel like you're back in your element or you're back on track. The path has been realigned. You're not deterred anymore. I was a little irritated, but I'm not anymore. But I did get interrupted. And I liked the things that I was saying in the video. I liked how it was going. And I still like the video. It captured me getting upset on cam. just to restart. And I like how this is going now, because this is what happens in life. You're not good at every moment. I didn't even have to say, I got interrupted, but I wanted to say it. Who's stopping me from saying that? Who's stopping me from expressing my irritation with having to do that? Which is really just me expressing my expectations. Because your emotions are often tied to your expectations of certain things. The way you think that things should be or shouldn't be. Like how you think the process should go. Speaking of process, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I started my last video out and I said, I was going to say, and then I stopped. I was like, so who here has, and then I stopped. And then I said, well, the obvious answer to that is yes. What was the question going to be? Who here feels like they are the opposite of, or they truly function in an opposite way that they've been functioning, that they felt like they should function, that they're expected to function, which really is often just a projection, but we don't have to get into that. That's a topic for another day. But the obvious answer to all of that is yes. Yeah, I have. So, like, why are you bringing this up? Because I just want to talk about how I have. Today I had a really creative day. Last night, I had a creative night. Creativity. I link that often with free. Free to just be, free to just do. And honestly, the person that got me into that energy, or hyped it up, because it's there, it just hasn't been there consistently. I was watching David Cho, because he has a YouTube channel now. The first time that I seen him was from Beef. And my silly self, well, it makes sense for me. But I remember him specifically because I looked up who the artist was of all of the different art pieces at the beginning of each Beef episode, except the first one. And it was him, but he was also on the show. So, but of course I remember him for art. So, but I was watching him, and dude is funny. I think he's really funny. I subscribe to that channel because I like it. I'm excited to see more of what he puts out, but also because I know I'm an artist at heart. And I feel like it's not just a feeling. I know that there's been some wishy-washy things when it comes to my creative side. Things that have happened or things that I've heard. Things that have been said to me about art in general. And I'm in a process where I'm just ridding that information, trashing that information, because honestly, it definitely affected the way in which I go about creating a lot of things. I was told art is stupid. I was told there's no fucking career that's sustainable. In art. It's stupid. It's not practical. I'm not supporting. We don't have to get into that. And the reason why I say it's wishy-washy is because I was literally bought a bunch of creative supplies, art supplies. I've been bought a tattoo. Who is playing music? A tattoo kit, paint. I have a drafting table. I have a lot of creative supplies that consistency is not, it's not it. It hasn't been a thing for me. And to be honest, I used to use the excuse that, oh, it's because I have so much school to do. Like, I have so many other things to do. I can't fit it into my day. I'm always inspired by art things. I literally always go back to it. So it's like, okay, you always go back to it. So why aren't you like doing something? And that's because every time that I would attempt to go through my process has been so misguided. Whenever I go back to it, I look at it as if it's a job. I look at it as if, oh, I'm proving him wrong. I'm about to do it. But I don't even be having goals in mind. I literally, which is another funny thing about that, because it's like, how are you going to prove somebody wrong when you don't even have a goal in mind to achieve with whatever that is that you're talking about? What I realized about myself is that I'm actually quite spontaneous, or I go about doing things based off of feeling rather than being such a... That music is distracting me. Rather than having like a set schedule, I don't actually operate like that. And I thought that I did, but I don't. Or I tried to push it on myself, but it doesn't fucking work. That's just not me, for real. And maybe spontaneous is not the word, because when I find my angle, I'm actually quite consistent with the angle, with going about doing things at that angle. When I used to treat it like a job, you know what form of art that I was so interested in? Realism. In honing in my skills, honing in my technique. I value all of those things. I feel like they're all necessary. I mean, foundation is necessary, but it's like I was skipping out on the fun of just doing, of just being. And that goes for a lot of different sectors of my life, where I'm just up here like a lot. I haven't been up here. Like, there's been a nice balance of being in my mind and in my body as of late. I know that there has been, because I can do stuff like this on camera and not feel embarrassed about it. Or like have little movements like that, or just be myself and know, wow, I'm about to share myself with other people. It may not be shared soon, it may not be seen soon, but eventually it will be. And even if it's not, I'm gonna see myself. So that's something nice to think about. I don't even like realism. I don't even like realism like that. I respect it. I respect someone's ability to print that reference, to create that portrait onto paper with their hands and their foundational skills. I respect that. But I also respect myself, and I respect what I'm actually interested in now. I love to experiment with shapes. I love to experiment with color. I don't know if there's any artists out there who used to literally dread the thought of coloring their pieces. I know that that's a common artist fear phase. Yeah, we got that. It's common, it's canon, it happens. And it was me. I love to use colors now. Love to use colors. I love to just do. And I don't go into it with a plan, I just do. And later on, I'm sure I'll be able to harness that just doing energy and pair it with planning. But it's just the knowing that I'd be doing it in a different way I'd be approaching it. I'd be approaching my process in a different way than what I did earlier times, because that was unhealthy as fuck. And it made me, it aided in my inconsistency. It didn't make me, because I hold a lot of responsibility in me and how I didn't do things, but it was definitely an aid. I guess I'll just finish this off with saying, I don't know what it is I'm about to create. I don't know what it is I'm going to be creating. Not just singular, creating. For a few years now, I've been interested in crochet. And I'm just now starting to crochet. And that's really exciting. The past few days of this week, of the past week, I was crocheting bandanas. There's currently 3 bandanas. I have 3 official projects completed now. A bandana for me, a bandana for my mom, a bandana for my sister. In that order. Each night. Tired each night. Because I start at nights. Why I start at night? I just feel like the juices flow. But okay. Crochet. I've been doing that. Just got back into sketching. And then, of course, writing. Which is actually what's holding up this phone. Because I've been journaling quite a bit. And in my journal, I don't just have like the everyday thing or emotional processing. I have a few of my poems in there. Pieces. Let's just call them pieces. Let's not even try to put them in some box. Pieces that express the feelings, the emotions that I was going through at one point in time. I don't know what I'll do with that. I don't know what it is that I'll share with people. I just know that I'm extremely creative right now. and active, taking action. I've been taking a lot of action. I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of me for that. And I don't know what it is I'll do with that. I feel like in the future, like as I enjoy it, because it's summertime, as I enjoy it, eventually the vision will form. Eventually exposing of myself will occur. Exposing, really, Lakaya? Expressing, sharing of me, sharing of what it is that I've done, what it is that I do. Eventually, that vision of what to do with it, how to harness those different abilities, creativities. Eventually, I will form it into something. I will weave it into something. But right now, I'm just enjoying it. And that's the opposite of what I was doing in the past. I'm sure many people have various things that they don't approach in the way that they used to approach it. I'm sure many people have things like that they could talk with people about, talk with themselves about, because the changes are changing, the changes are happening, and it's like, well, I am who I am today. Maybe tomorrow it'll be different, but then I'll be who I am that day. That was my spill. I'm done.